Feather powder and talcum powder are used for almost the same purpose: to protect what is constantly wet. Talcum powder is highly absorbent, and applied over the skin, it prevents rashes and skin diseases. Man originally employed it for sanitary purposes. Nowadays, it's a question of fashion. Almost everybody uses makeup. But there are people who prefer creams to powders. Mud and clay are said to help care for the skin. Although their therapeutic powers are sometimes exaggerated. There are people who have turned it into a holy rite. The only sure thing is that mosquitoes will have a much harder time biting us if we're covered in mud. And this is the objective many mammals pursue when they cover themselves with mud. Wet or dried mud is a protective layer that adds some centimeters to the skin where parasites and mites can't live. There's no doubt that hair is the suitable place for fleas and lice, as well as any large wrinkle in the skin. The best solution to fight these pests and to prevent their consequences seems taken from the best spa. However, this natural habitat is much older than the appearance of the decadent Roman spas. Mud is very efficient against ticks, but sometimes it's not enough. There are other parasites that are not overcome by mud, licking, or rubbing. Flies are so persistent in their obsession to land on a few square centimeters of our body that the best solution is to kill them if you don't want to lose your cool. Flies, however, are really fast. They're usually too fast. Hand motions are not efficient most of the time. An elastic extension as long as a tail multiplies your speed and is really efficient. Fly swatters work either by repelling or killing flies. Thanks to their length, they reach the most unreachable points, the insect's favorite spots. Apart from the whipping effect, a good fly swatter must have a mobile, flat, and hard surface to hit with. By copying animal tails, we have made very efficient tools. Or we just have given a handle to a hairy tail to protect us from mosquitoes. And don't forget that a fly swatter is not a luxury. In some latitudes, it protects us from the means of transportation of some of the world's most dangerous diseases. But be careful with the power you put behind it. It hurts. Flies and many other insects are considered repugnant because they live among the most repulsive filth. That may be so on some occasions, but there is no other living being that devotes so much time to personal cleanliness than these arthropods. You can't watch a fly for 5 minutes before it very soon starts washing its hands. Ants are also clean, but we're not going to point out how clean insects are. Ants are the main characters of the strangest cleaning system in nature, even if it's against their own will. Certain species of birds have discovered strange properties in the formic acid of ants, and they have learned to use it to their benefit. Yes, learned. It's thought that chicks copy the curious ant bath when they watch their parents behaving this way. It's not clear why birds take ant baths. It could be they want to make their own anti-parasite formic acid lotion. It has also been suggested that formic acid is good for arthritis, although it has only been tested on humans with doubtful results. And nobody knows if birds suffer from rheumatism so much as to create such a habit. In any case, ant baths are not easy to watch and study. However, this behavior happens in spite of the ants' bites when they feel attacked. Nobody would suffer such torture if they didn't profit from it. Therefore, birds will suffer the ants' bites as long as possible in exchange for a good dose of ant lotion. Strange lotions, delicate soaps, and curious baths. With these natural cosmetic patents, we could open the most sophisticated spa. And they say that animals are dirty.